Hiya, Toots. Welcome back to the chaos, or welcome to the chaos if you've never been here before. I am Talon. I run this chaotic mess, Rooted Chaos, and I am the owner of Thrive Theory Plant Shop. I had this really cool Anthurium that was gifted to me a little while ago, and it was in bad shape. It had two leaves. The petioles were like in opposite directions and like way far apart, and the leaves were a mess. The lady that it came from didn't want to deal with plants anymore, so she gave them away. The leaves ended up dying off. It was in no drainage, and it was in just really bad shape. So it was given to me. I attempted to rehab it, lost those two leaves, but the roots looked really good. It was just the leaves had died off. So I repurposed this Starbucks cup here and threw the stump in a chunky soil, or soilless soil, I guess, chunky aeroid mix that I made, and just kind of left it. And months went by and it did nothing. It was just a stump, and I was convinced that it was just a goner. But I was like, well, the roots haven't died off, so I'm just gonna leave it. So I just kept giving it water every now and then, and honestly just leaving it alone. And then all of a sudden one day it popped out a leaf, this little tiny leaf over here. Then it gave me this one. Then it gave me this one. I guess you got to see it, huh? This was leaf 2, leaf 1, leaf 3, and then I got thrips on leaf 3. So I don't know. Anyway, got rid of the thrips, and it gave me this pretty little leaf right here, which has sized up actually quite nicely. I don't have any idea what type of Anthurium this is. Again, it was just gifted to me, and that's all I know. So I have decided it's time to get it out of that Starbucks cup because it was doing nothing good in there. But here are my roots. They look really good, actually. Let's see if they smell good. Yep, they passed the smell test. I can see a lot of nice white tips from a lot of nice new root growth on there. All the roots look healthy. It's dark, but that's because of the soil. And we're just gonna repot it. No, I'm not even losing any. So the mixture that I had it in is a tree fern fiber, tiny little leca balls or ceramite, large perlite. There's some pon in here, but mostly it's tree fern, some bark. Very tree fern heavy, it looks like. All right, well, we're putting it in a very similar substrate this time. I have maybe a few other amendments. I got some charcoal. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna give it a dusting of Myco, because if you don't know, Myco is the ish. It is a beneficial bacteria that you should just put on your roots every time you do a repot, and it just really helps those roots. And then I'm going to water it in with my rooting solution, and after that I'll go back to using my nurture system after a couple waterings. I'm just using the rooting solution just to give the roots a little, because they don't like being messed with. Here's the chunk. Can you see? It's kind of dark. So there's the chunk that I had buried, that I started with. The new growth isn't even on that chunk. It's on a little offshoot. Can you tell the difference? So there's a little offshoot that the new growth came out of, which I thought was pretty cool. The stump really hasn't done anything yet. So I'm going to try to spread these roots out the best I can. And I'm going to use the old tree fern fiber that it was in, because there's nothing wrong with it. And plants seem to like that when you put the old substrate back in there when you're up potting, assuming excuse that train. Assuming there's nothing wrong with the substrate that it came out of, go ahead and just use it when you're up potting. I only emptied the substrate off of the roots this time so I could get a good look at the roots and see what I was working with, since it was a rehab. And it looks good. So now I have all that back in there. I'm just gonna add some new substrate to it, which again is still very tree fern. I do have Leca horticulture charcoal, large perlite, small perlite, pawn. I have pawn in here. I have cocoa chips. I have baby chip, orchiata. What else is in here? All kinds of good stuff. Very, very chunky. Very chunky. All right, so I think I got it buried for the most part here. I'll just give it a little more because Anthurium are like that. So here we go. I expect now she'll size up for me pretty nicely. I'm gonna leave this damaged leaf here because it has some damage around it, but this side is still fine. The small leaves are fine. And then this nice, real pretty one, I'm extremely happy with. So now that I've put her in a big pot, her next set of leaves should be significantly bigger. And I'm super excited. I'm super excited that she bounced back the way she did. And I'm just gonna water her in with my rooting solution. And if you don't know, if you are new here or you haven't seen other videos where I talk about it, my rooting solution is Clonex Clone Solution and Growth Technologies Root Zone. That is what I am doing, and boom, there she is. So stay tuned, follow for some updates, and I will keep you guys posted on how she does. Till next time, bye.